Today, we're going to talk about the topic of betrayal because this is truly one of the most painful experiences that any human being can go through. Being betrayed by someone that you trusted shakes you to your core. It challenges your sense of safety, your identity, and your trust in other people. And when it happens, it feels like you have been stripped away of your power, your dignity, and your sense of autonomy. Understandably, very few people know how to handle or navigate betrayal well or know what to do when it happens to them. This is such a big topic. I'm so excited to get into it, and I'm going to go really in depth here. This video is going to give you a step-by-step framework that will help you take your power back, that will help you figure out how to deal with that person that betrayed you and how to heal moving forwards. I want you to know that betrayal does not have to break you. And I know this because I have been betrayed so many times in my life in horrible ways. And I have learned from personal experience that betrayal can actually shape you into someone that's powerful, wise, and deeply self-respecting. So this video is everything that I have learned on my journey about how to turn betrayal into power and to make this the best comeback of your life. So let's get into it. The first thing that you need to know is this: anyone can betray you. And I'm not saying that to scare you or to make you paranoid. I'm saying it because that is the truth. Even the most loyal people can turn around one day suddenly and do something that you would have never expected. Because the thing is, people change, circumstances change. Humans are flawed, we make mistakes, we do stupid things sometimes, and we make bad decisions. And honestly, under the right circumstances, and if the stakes are high enough, pretty much anyone can betray you. I'm going to tell you a story. I was speaking with my client and she had a housekeeper for 20 years. Now, during that time, this housekeeper was super loyal, trustworthy. There were never any problems. But just before she retired and went back to her home country, she burgled my client's house, took a load of valuables, and then just disappeared. And it was such a massive betrayal because it was so unexpected. My client literally never would have a million years saw this coming. And this just shows that betrayal often comes from the people that you least expect, in the ways that you never imagined, and at a time that you wouldn't have expected. And that is why betrayal can be so traumatizing. The truth is that no one is immune to betrayal. No matter how much inner work you've done on yourself, you cannot stop betrayal from happening. No matter how careful and discerning you are with the people that you let into your life, you can only ever reduce the chances of betrayal from happening, but you can never eliminate it entirely. For the simple reason that you cannot control other people. They have free will and they are going to do whatever they want to do. So step one is accepting that betrayal is a part of life. It is not some unique event that's happened exclusively to you. It is simply part of what it means to live in a social system and to have human relationships. And also, no one is immune to any kind of negative experience in life, whether that be betrayal, illness, injury, rejection. We are all going to experience those things because we're all human, and those things are part of the human experience that nobody in this world gets to escape. When betrayal happens, it feels deeply personal. Like this person has chosen to do this thing to you specifically. Like they were out to get you specifically. But the thing is, the way that people behave is truly a reflection of them. So stop taking it to heart. Some really unhelpful but common thought patterns that people tend to get after betrayal is, why did this happen to me? How could they do that to me? How could I let this happen? I never should have trusted them. How could I be so stupid? What did I ever do to deserve this treatment? I never would have done that to them, so how come they could do that to me? It is really easy to get stuck in these unhelpful thought spirals, so let me help you reframe this a little bit. Whenever you choose to extend trust to people, there will be some people that will choose to abuse that trust. That really is just how it is. We live in a world with all kinds of different people, and not everyone is going to treat you with care. Not because you did something wrong or because you were naive or stupid. Obviously, it's good to reflect and see if you did miss any red flags, but even if you did, anyone that violates another person's trust, that is on them, not you. So give yourself some grace and really shift the focus on what you can do to handle this situation so that you can begin to move forwards and heal. Once you accept that betrayal is simply a part of the human experience, you can begin to make your peace with it. The goal is not to avoid betrayal or to try to engineer your life so that betrayal never happens again. Because, like I said, you cannot control other people. So, the only realistic goal is to stop fearing betrayal if and when it happens. Here's the thing, you're not actually afraid of the betrayal itself. You're afraid of how you're going to feel after it happens. You're afraid of the hurt, the confusion, the powerlessness. Betrayal is traumatizing because you lose your sense of power. You feel like your humanity and your agency was taken from you by this other person. So the antidote is to reclaim your power again and realize that you do have control. Not over what happened or what that person did to you, but over how you respond. A lot of people get stuck in this betrayal trauma thinking, I'm never ever going to let this happen to me again. But really, that is not dealing with the betrayal and growing from it. That is allowing your fear of betrayal dictate your entire life from here on out. And your life will just get smaller and smaller and smaller over time if you think this way. So, in order to stop being afraid of betrayal, you need to know deeply inside of yourself that you can handle betrayal with grace, strength, and power. If you can maintain your sense of power in any situation, then what is there to be afraid of? It just becomes another experience that you know how to navigate. And that is how you free yourself from the fear of being betrayed. The moment that betrayal happens, you have two paths. You can either collapse into victimhood or you can rise into your power. In that moment where you feel powerless and violated, just remember that your power lies in how you respond. Do not react, respond. Take some time to think about how you want to respond. Make sure that when you do respond, you do it from a place of intention, precision, and composure. So there's really no one size fits all approach on how to deal with betrayal, and how you want to respond to this specific situation is going to be deeply personal and situational. So we have all heard of the let them theory, where you walk away and you protect your peace, you protect your energy. But that is not always the best approach. Sometimes it is better to stand up for yourself, to confront the other person. Sometimes you need to report that person to the police or take legal action. There's so many different approaches and ways to respond depending on the situation that you're in. But you have to decide what action feels the most empowering and liberating for you. And that is something that only you can figure out. A simple question that you can ask yourself is, if I were to look back on this situation in 5 years from now, what would my future self be proud of me for doing? You want to make sure that you are making choices that makes you proud of yourself in the long run, no matter how uncomfortable or difficult taking that choice may be in the moment. Because in 5 years' time, you're not going to remember the discomfort, the stress, or the fear that you went through to take that action. You are only going to remember the person that you became when you responded. So find a way to turn this betrayal into a win for you. Because when you turn this into a win, you no longer see yourself as the victim in this story. So let me tell you a personal story about a betrayal that I experienced at university. So I had this placement mentor who lied about me and who got me kicked off the course. And when I tried to defend myself and tell my course tutors that these things weren't true, They all ganged up on me. It was basically like a team of 4 middle-aged staff members trying to gaslight me into accepting that I had failed and done things that I hadn't done. So it was a really hard time for me because this mentor had spread such vicious lies about my character, and he had turned everybody against me, and they simply just took his word for it. And even though I had clear evidence backing me up, no one wanted to look at my evidence. So what did I do in this situation? I submitted a subject access request to the university. Under GDPR in the UK, you can get access to any information that an institution holds about you regarding you. And this includes any kind of emails that references you. So I was able to access all the staff emails that were talking about me. And these emails were so incriminating because they did not expect me to pull this move on them. And in these emails, they were discussing how to cover their backs, plotting how to get rid of me, and just all of this nefarious stuff. And they thought that I was just this young, naive girl, and they could easily get me to leave without saying anything. Instead, I used their own emails, their own words against them, and built a complaint case. It got escalated to the chancellor and the dean of the university, who were obviously horrified. I received an apology, monetary compensation, and the university changed all of their procedures to prevent this from ever happening to another student again. The staff that tried to bully me ended up being publicly humiliated, and they received disciplinary action. So it's safe to say that they really regretted it. Now, looking back, I'm really glad that I went through all of that hassle, because that experience transformed me into someone who knows that she cannot be messed with. It has also built me into a person that is not afraid to stand up to multiple people that have more power and authority than me. And because I have built that deep inner strength inside of me, I know now that I not only have the ability to stand up for myself, but to also stand up for other people and protect other people if I ever see or witness injustice against anyone else. When you know that you cannot be destroyed by betrayal, you become truly free. I no longer live in the fear of being betrayed anymore. I trust people deeply. I'm very open and honest with people. And that's why I'm able to share my vulnerabilities and personal stories on the internet, knowing that some people might weaponize that or try to write nasty comments about me. And that's totally fine. You can do what you want, because I know that I can handle myself. And whatever you choose to do, I'm going to be okay. I know that anyone that tries to cross me or underestimate me will live to regret it. So I no longer have anything to fear. When something bad happens to me, I don't collapse. I always find a way to rise. And this mindset is available to you too. You get to decide right now that no betrayal will ever be the end of your story. You can refuse to be the victim, and you get to choose how this story is going to end for you. A strong person doesn't avoid betrayal or chase loyalty in other people. They navigate both with wisdom. You cannot control who betrays you, but you can control who you become as a result of it. When you have the ability to stand in both your light and your shadow, you become very powerful. So I'm very forgiving. I'm very emotionally generous, because I know that no one can betray me without consequences. So even if someone crosses me the first time, I give them opportunities to come forwards and to fix it peacefully and to do the right thing. But if that person doubles down and they mistake my kindness for weakness, which some people do, then I'm really not afraid to utilize my shadow. And what I've learned is that a lot of people, they don't respond to love and light, they respond to truth and consequences. And when delivering the truth, you don't need to be vindictive or cruel. You just need to be as clear, succinct, and precise as possible. The most powerful thing to do is to lay out the bare facts and to let the facts humiliate them. Let their own actions expose them. The beauty of this is you don't even have to stoop to their level or let it drain your energy. You just let the truth do the talking with as few words and emotions as possible. Because truly nothing stings and humiliates a person more than cold, hard truth that they cannot deny or escape. And that is the power of your shadow. Finally, forgive and let go. Forgiveness is about releasing the energy and no longer being energetically or emotionally entangled with this person. So once you have acted with integrity, you have reclaimed your power, you have turned it into a win, then forgiveness is how you are going to close this entire chapter and move forwards. So here's a quote by Marcus Aurelius that I really love and I stand by. Forgive a man who has wronged one, remain a friend to one who has transgressed friendship, and continue faithful to one who has broken faith. What this means is that whatever happens, always act in alignment with your own values and morals. You don't have to get down and play dirty just because they did. You don't have to get back at someone just because they hurt you. All you need to do is expose them for who they are, and that will come with its own consequences. And now you can move forward proud of who you are, knowing that you did the right thing and you were a good person and you respected yourself. Once you know how to navigate betrayal and rise from it, you will not be afraid of building relationships or extending your trust to people anymore. Because you know that if they turn out to be good and loyal to you, then that's a beautiful blessing. But if they betray you, you are also going to be able to get something positive from that experience as well. If you use betrayal to sharpen your intuition and to also expand your capacity for love and forgiveness, then you really have nothing to fear, because you know that you can be lied to, you can be slandered, you can be stolen from, and yet you can still come out better and stronger. So you don't need to fear what other people might do to you. You only need to trust in who you are and in your own abilities. I really hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to join the Relove family. If you want to speak to me one-on-one, then I will leave the link to book a session down below. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in my next video.